Our family are celebrating the life of Mrs. Julienne James, also known as Ma James of Sunbelt Castries, who passed away peacefully on Friday, November 29, 2013, at 3:05 p.m. at her residence. She was 93 years old. She was a member of the Sacred Heart, Mount Carmel, and St. Isidore confraternities, and a member of the Legion of Mary. She was predeceased by her husband, Mr. Henry James of Sunbelt, and her daughter, Mrs. Alberta Bella Butcher of Cap Estate. Left to celebrate her life, 4 children: Mr. Anthony Donald of London, England; Mr. Vernon James of Corinth, taxi driver TX 232; Miss Monica James of Sunbelt Castries, who was also her caretaker; Mr. St. Eves James, employed of Walker and Company vehicle. Grandchildren: Mrs. Glenda James Eugene, manager of American Drywall Group of Companies; Mr. Ricky Adolph in London, England; Mr. Dwight James, employed of Sea Island Cotton Shop; Mrs. Sabina Alcid, nursing supervisor in New Jersey; Mr. Valence James, employed of Barefoot Holidays; Mr. Cameron James, employed of Lumnat Distributors Limited; Miss Vanessa James, employed of Duty Free Shoppers; Mr. Marlon James of Canada; Miss Faye Chantel James, employed of Sterling Insurance; Miss Melissa James, employed of Dr. Suri; Miss Shanna Donnelly in Canada; Mr. Crispin Mitchell in the UK. Great-grandchildren: Yanil James of Casimba; Risa and Daniel Jr. Alcid, both in New Jersey; Micaiah Santomer; Makeda James; Aurelia Isaac; Edrin James; Adania James; Nevaeh James; Caleb James. Daughters-in-law: Mrs. Cynthia James, employed of Rendezvous Hotel; Mrs. Ermaine James, nurse at St. Jude's Hospital. Grandsons-in-law: Mr. Vincent Eugene, driver of TX 112; Mr. Daniel Alcid of New Jersey. Special friends: Magdalena Joseph, also known as Ma Marcel and family; Mr. Gills and family of Canada; Mr. Best and family of Canada; Mrs. Hines and family of Montfortune; Mrs. Joan Agnews and family of Lafayette Moshi. The celebration service of Mrs. Julienne James, also known as Ma James, will be held on Monday, 16th December 2013, at the Minor Basilica of the Immaculate Conception at 1:30 p.m., and then to the Choc Cemetery for burial. The body now lies at Crick's Funeral Home, Vidbouteille. All members of Sacred Heart, Mount Carmel, and St. Isidore confraternities and Legion of Mary are asked to be at the church for 1:15 p.m. and in full uniform. May her soul continue to rest in perfect peace.